Hey everybody, how's it going? Coach Dave here today, and I'm here today to go over how to build strength for your first ring muscle up. If you guys have ring muscle ups, if you're close to ring muscle ups, if you have the strength to do strict chest to bar pull-ups, you can check out our video on transitions. This one is going to go more into how to build that pure strength for your first ring muscle up. And we're going to focus on 3 things that you want to do to build strength before we even worry about working your transitions to a muscle up. So the first thing we're going to want is we're going to want stability in the top of the rings, being able to hold that hollow position in that dip at the top of the dip with our hands stuck to our sides where we don't wind up out here. Okay, we also don't wind up with the shoulder rolling forward as we're trying to hold it. We want to keep those shoulders back. So that's the key, is to get that stability in the top of the dip before we try and get a dip at the top of those rings, which is going to be a lot harder once we get above them with the pull-up. So what we're looking for in the ring dip is we want to make sure that as we dip down, okay, we think about rotating our shoulders back and screwing our hand into the ground, right? We want to kind of really think about our palms facing forward rather than being here, okay? We naturally, when we get up on those rings, you're going to feel the front of the ring wants to come in. Okay, what we want to focus on is the back of the ring touching the body, really kind of screwing that ring in and holding that position with our stomach nice and tight. These holds are great, even if you have muscle ups. It's a great skill to work on to build strength in the hold in a static position. So what it looks like is I want to put my hands on these rings. I'm going to jump up, and you're going to notice my hands screw in, right? So when we come up above those rings, we want to think about this, right? This part comes where my hands rotate in, because naturally I want to be here. We want to focus on that ring turning in, okay? That's a big part of building stability when we get to top of the rings. So that's the first thing. From there, we want to work on 2 separate movements. Your pull-ups on the rings and your dips on the rings. You're probably going to need a band for this unless you have strict pull-ups. Then you can try this without them. But ideally, you're probably going to need a band for it. I always hesitate on saying using a band for pull-ups because I don't want you guys to use the bounce of the band. We want to make sure that we have that pause, that strict control, even though we're using a band. So we tie the band on like so. It comes through the hole, okay? We kind of tie it in on itself, and then from there, we're gonna put it on the other handle, okay? This is where we want a false grip, okay? So our hand is over the ring like this. What we want is when we come down, we want this hand to kind of turn around with our hand being above the ring like so, okay? We don't wanna be here because then when I pull up, I can't get my wrist over. If I'm in this position and I pull up, I can just rotate and transition into my dip. Okay, so we want to get used to doing pull-ups with our hand in that false grip position. So what we do is we take the rings, put the band through, sit in the band, and then we come down into a seated position. From here, we're going to keep our legs straight, nice L sit. Make sure we have that false grip. We're going to pull up, 1, 2, and down. And then we're going to pull up, 1, 2, and down. And then pull up, 1, 2, and down. And we're going to continue for 5 reps. You notice my hands are still above those rings. Okay, we want to get used to that. We want to do 5 reps at a time. Get a band that is challenging to get through. I mean, about 4 should be struggling, but you should be able to make it through 5. It is to build strength, so make sure it's a little bit of a challenge on you. Then we're going to go into our dips. Okay, so we're going to grab it just like we were setting up for that pull-up. We're not going to grab the false grip because we're already above the rings. We're going to put our knee in. Right, we can put our other knee in. And then from here, we're going to work on keeping the rings close. We dip, elbows go back. When we come up, we rotate in, down, and rotate. Okay. Again, probably sets of 5. Usually I program people 5 sets of 5 of each, the pull-ups, the dips, and then usually about a 30-second hold on the holds where you're at that extended position. And I'll usually kind of cycle through, so do pull-ups, 5 reps, dips, 5 reps, hold for 30 seconds, and go through it again for 5 sets. So that's how you build strength on the rings. Before you try your first muscle up, it's recommended you have 3 sets of 10 strict chest to bar pull-ups, and you should be able to do 5 to 10 dips on the rings unassisted. So that's what you're looking for. That's how you build strength on the rings. If you enjoy us, keep following us, and stay strong, stay fit, stay healthy, guys, and we'll see you soon. Have a good day. Bye.